Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Makeover Monday 2021, Week 28 Watch Me Viz. This week we're looking at UK COVID vaccination coverage. My name is Andy Kriebel. I'm the head coach of the Information Lab Data School, and I am a member of the Tableau Zen Hall of Fame. In this session, I'm going to take you through the dataset. I'll first review the dataset, review the initial visualization, and then take you through a series of visualizations until I get to one that I'm happy with. So let's start by looking at the original visualization. So this is it here. The data that we have is also broken down by not only ethnicity but by age group. So right now the picture on the screen is just for the 80 plus population. So yeah, we could see it looks like cumulative percent of the population that has been vaccinated. And we have the latest overall cohort rate as a dashed line. So that must mean combined across all of the ethnicities, that's the rate. And we can see that white is pretty significantly higher than all of the other races, particularly black. And if we go down to the other age groups, so let me find, that's 80 plus. If we go down here to the 70 to 79 population, we see the same kind of thing. So I'm first going to look at the data set itself. I don't think the chart is all that bad. The colors are, at least for me, easy enough to distinguish. It's a bit cluttered, but it does show the curve. You can see how quickly the vaccines went up, and then it sort of slowed down, which is to be expected. So in the original data set, we have our age range. It starts at 50 to 54, so there's no data in this before 54. You can hear an echo of your voice. Okay, let me try this. Okay, let me fix my audio and try this again. So it should be... Okay, let me know if that is... let me know if that's better now. Hopefully that's better. If not, I'll just keep going and just let me know in the chat because there's a slight delay between what I say and there's like a 10 or 15-second delay. So on the left-hand side here we have it's still the same. Okay, let me unplug my headset and plug it back in. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay, is that better? I've unplugged the headset and then put the I started the input capture over again, so hopefully that's a bit better. I haven't done anything differently this week than any other week. So if you could let me know, that would be great. Okay, so we have the age range, and then we also have the vaccination date. And then it breaks it down into the different races. So we have black, and then the black total column. So this means the total population for blacks, the mixed, and then the mixed total population, the other South Asian. Okay, thanks for letting me know. And then unknown and white. And then these columns are all cumulative vaccines. So I'm going to actually do a bit of data prep in Excel here so that we can see the daily number of vaccines. So I'm going to just insert a couple of columns here. Actually, I could just do it like that. So I'm going to call this one black cumulative. Oops. Okay, and then I'll call this one mixed cumulative, other cumulative, South Asian, cumulative, unknown, cumulative, and white. cumulative. Sometimes I just think the data prep is easier to do directly in Excel. So I'm going to call this one black daily. So what I'm going to say here is if the age range is equal to the previous age range, then I want to take the value and subtract the prior value. Otherwise, just give me the value. Okay, so now I'm just going to copy that down, and we can see now it goes from 14 to 0 because there were no new vaccines that day. We then get down to the next age range, and you'll see that it starts over here. Okay, so that looks good, and then I want to copy that column, and then I'm going to insert it here, hopefully, and I'll just rename it in a minute, and then insert, and then copy, insert, copy, copy, insert, and then copy, insert. Okay, so this one is going to be white daily. This is unknown daily. South Asian daily. Other daily. Where are we here? Other daily. I spelled other wrong. Other daily. Mixed daily and black daily. Okay, so that gives me that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save that now. I don't think I'm going to need to do anything else in here right now. All right, so let's connect to the data set in Tableau and vaccine coverage. And we can see we've got all of our records here, which is good. And the other thing we could probably do is we have, let's see, I need to refresh the data source. There we go. So if we look at the black cumulative versus the black total, that would give us the same thing as this blue line here, because that's a percent of total. So we can write those calculations inside of Tableau. Okay, so I'm going to do that first. So I'm going to call this black percent of total. And that's going to be the, let's see, the black cumulative divided by the black total. Okay, and then let's write another one. This is going to be my mixed percent of total. That'll be my mixed cumulative divided by my mixed total. I'd probably just quicker to duplicate, edit. So other, so this is going to be my other cumulative against my other total. And notice that I'm not aggregating these directly in the data set. That's because they're only really useful if you look at each individual date, so it doesn't really make sense. Actually, no, we should be aggregating these. So let me delete this one. Because if we combine the ages, we want it to add up correctly. So sum divided by the sum. Oh, oops. Okay, so let me edit this. Yeah, so I do need to do this aggregation because we might be combining the age groups. Okay, let's duplicate. And now this is going to be, so that's others, so South Asian total. Okay, then we have our unknown. And then lastly, our white. Okay, so I'm doing this data prep at the beginning just so I can kind of get it out of the way. There may be more I need to do later, but yes, let's start with just the vaccine rate. And I'm just going to look at the different races. So if I look at white percent of total, I can see we're at 94%, and that's for all age groups. Let me just filter down to a single. What do we have on the screen here? This is 70 to 79, and we've got 96.96%. That looks probably like it's pretty close. Okay, and then to bring the other races in, I'm going to just create a combined axis field. So now I've got that. I'm going to just highlight these and put them into the view. And there we go. So now we have that same kind of chart. Now the latest overall cohort rate, I think what that means is the ends of the lines. So our latest cohort rate is going to be the latest value for each race and then the average of those. So let's do the, let's call it, what do they call it? Latest overall cohort rate. Okay, so I think what we want to do here is we want to say fixed. We want to get the last value. So we want to fix this on age range. Yeah, for each age range, we want to say if the COVID vaccine date equals the max COVID vaccine date. So that's just giving us the latest date. Let me just move this down to a second line. Then we want to return the, let's see, this isn't quite going to quite be right. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be pretty messy. Okay, so what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to first bring back all of the totals. Yeah, this is going to be messy, so I'm going to ignore that for now. Okay, so we've got something like that. Now we could split up this view, and we can see it both by age range and by race. I could maybe move. Let's see, if I put measure names onto the rows, we get something like that. So let me actually just go back here. So let's duplicate this sheet. I'm going to move age range to the rows, and this gives me the same data by age, which, yeah, it looks, they all kind of have the same pattern. So let's duplicate it again. And I'm going to put measure names onto the rows this time so that the view is now split up by age and by ethnicity. To make this look a bit better, maybe I'll make it an area chart, and then I'm going to make it a dual axis, but make the top a line. So let's make this a dual axis and synchronize. And now we can see it even a bit better. So you can see the 80 plus is the size of the area chart is bigger than it gets bigger faster and than the younger age groups. So that doesn't look too bad. I could also look at that as just a line. So let me duplicate and get rid of the area chart. And if we look at it as a line, it just looks like that. I think the area chart probably looks a bit better. Okay, and then let's maybe look at it as the daily data. So, so the columns that I added in for the daily vaccinations. Let's see what that looks like. So I'm not going to bring in any age ranges. So let's just look at the vaccine date, and I want to compare the black daily and then mixed other. Okay, let's drag all those onto the same, and now we get something like that. It looks a bit weird, so maybe we should do this at more of a weekly level. Let's see what happens here. Okay, and the data shrinks down because this probably must not be a complete week here. Okay, but again, the number of white people being vaccinated is significantly, but this also doesn't look right because this is telling us 41 million were vaccinated on that day, which I don't think can be right. Let me see. Is that right? So, let's see. There's 56 million. Yeah, so that can't be right. So this number that I'm calculating here is wrong. The white daily. Let me see here. I go back to my Excel spreadsheet, and if I just go there, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That's 828 million. So something's wrong with my calculation here. Yep, data's definitely wrong. So I did something wrong here. So this is if A2. Oh yeah, that's right. So this should be. That should be like that. And then, yeah, so my formulas are wrong. So mixed daily, this should be like that. That's still not right. F2 minus F1. If A2 does not equal 1, 2. Yes, this is not. I5 minus I4. So this number should be giving me 7. Okay, so something's wrong with my calculation. So if this is equal to the one before, then I want to return C2 minus C1, otherwise it could be C2. Okay, so what's going on here? Why am I making a simple mistake here? So, duh. So this shouldn't be. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let me save. And then if I go back into Tableau and refresh, this is why it helps to build out the charts, because now I can see if the data is correct or not. So if I look at my white daily, I get 606, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6.7 million, which I don't think that is right either. Okay, and then what do I get if I look at just the white? I get 6.7 million. Okay, so that's, something's not right there as well. Okay, well, let's come back to that later. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong there, but some of my numbers are not correct. Okay, so what are some other things we could do then with this data? So we have those. We could certainly look at, let's see, I think I'm going to get maybe the latest value. So let's call this black latest cumulative. Let's see, no, black latest percent of total. So here I'm going to say fixed on age range, and I'm going to say sum if, let's see, if the vaccine date